week, the Minister attended a celebrating sport event in Newry, and I thought that if the document of the month, which I usually participate in, a sports-themed document would be appropriate. And being a Manchester United fan, I actually came across this document a few days ago and thought it would be significant for document of the month. There's a number of correspondence letters. There's letters from Glentoran to Manchester United, and then they get Glentoran, they get in touch with Lord Mayor to try and get his persuasion with Man United to come over. The Lord Mayor writes to Sir Matt Busby, and then eventually Sir Matt Busby writes back to the Lord Mayor saying that United hadn't agreed to coming over, and that Wilf McGuinness had other plans and other things to meet. So basically, Wilf McGuinness and Sir Matt decided that Manchester United won't be coming over to play at Glentoran, and basically that it was a misunderstanding.
To get basically a no from Manchester United. It did end up being Leeds, which was a great team at the time as well. But for Manchester United fans, it must have been disappointing.
Disappointing for the fans. I was only a nipper at the time, so I wasn't about. But it would have been good to see George Best and the Man United players coming over. Unfortunately, Sir Matt Busby decided that things hadn't been agreed and United wouldn't be coming over. So Glentoran then had to proceed and contact another team, and eventually got in touch with Leeds United, who decided to come over, and they actually got paid £500 more than Man United were offered.
We're going back now several years, and obviously it did cause a bit of disappointment, but Manchester United obviously had so many commitments even then, just like they have now. It's always difficult to get teams of that magnitude to come, not just to Belfast, but even Dublin or somewhere else throughout the United Kingdom. There's always been a very great link between Belfast, Northern Ireland and Old Trafford, the home of Manchester United. The late Bob Bishop, who was a neighbour of mine in the Bloomfield area of East Belfast and a personal friend, Bob sent players over all the time, particularly schoolboys who were doing exceptionally well, and probably about 30% of them actually made it right through to the first team. So it was a disappointment, but obviously it was discussed at that time amongst the board of Manchester United, and they felt it wasn't in their interest to send a team. Been able to bring a club like Leeds United to the Oval, absolutely fantastic. Glentoran played some great teams over the years, some in Europe, some in friendlies. The Oval was packed to capacity. You would have got at least 25,000 people in, and it was absolutely tremendous. But that day in particular, being a great Glentoran supporter, being one who has played a lot of football, being Glentoran's Chief Scout Youth Development Officer, being Secretary of the Reserve Team and the Youth Team, it meant so much to me. And I would love to see these teams coming back in the future. Now, we did play Leeds a few seasons ago. There was probably in the region of about 4,000, 5,000 at the game, including 2,000 Leeds fans. But going back many, many years to that heyday, I don't think those days will ever return to the game, unfortunately.